Hi, and welcome to Learn with Sawgrass, the Tuesday edition. I am Rhonda, the Education Manager here at Sawgrass, and we are live every Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. and that is Eastern, and then every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern to talk about all the things Sawgrass. So we are always looking at our software. We're talking about our printers and our inks, and we also hopefully will give you some inspiration on projects, and then also hopefully some business tips to help you out. So today we are actually going to be on that inspiration piece. That's one of my favorite. And this is, this is kind of one of those that really is the bread and butter of sublimation and also using your VersiFlex system today and tomorrow. We're really excited about these. And today we're going to look specifically at Hostess gifts. Now, this doesn't mean if you have a printer and a press, you're making your own. These are great things to offer to your store. And especially as we talk about the personalized items, which I think most of these are in one way, shape, or form, all of these personalized products are going to sell at a higher profit for you because everyone wants something that has their names, their dates, their information on it. So all things personalized do so much better, roughly a 27% increase in price. And so we really want to give you some inspiration because between sublimation and VersiFlex, you can do so much. And so my printer does have VersiFlex ink in it. I do run one with an option tray, so I have VersiFlex paper for all of those uncoated products that I can't sublimate onto. And then in my other tray, I do have my sublimation paper to use for those sublimation products, still using the VersiFlex ink. That's kind of the name. It is very versatile in that you can do both, and that's what we're going to do today. Now, a little bit of housekeeping. I do have Rhodes behind the camera. He is going to be in the chat. So if you have any questions, if you want to make any comments, I am by no means going to touch on everything that you can do. I'm going to do 3 products today, but there's so many things when we talk about Hostess gifts that you can do. Hopefully with the newness of VersiFlex, I'll have some new ideas for you I haven't thought of. But if you have any that we haven't thought of, please put those in the comments. And then also if you have any questions, please feel free. He will be answering you, but I will bug him ever so often to provide feedback as well. So let's go ahead and jump in. Now, all 3 products that I'm going to do today, I am going to design in our design tool. The beauty of the Sawgrass system is as long as you're using the Sawgrass print utility, you can bring files into there from wherever you design. So you're not limited to our program, but I am going to use it today because it's got some great artwork in it that really works really well for these products. And again, both pieces are our software. Design tool and our print utility are free as long as you're using Sawgrass printers and inks. So it's just one of those little bonuses. So we're going to start there in just a second, but I want to talk about what we're going to do. So like I said, these are Hostess gifts. And you know, the big thing with Hostess gifts is you want to give something that it may not be for use today, but something, or at the party, but something that they'll have for future events and just for them to use. So we are going to do, this is technically called a cheese board. I love it. It's the ceramic insert on the wood. So we're going to do that. We are going to do some napkins. Now these are awesome. These are great little drink napkins. I would probably do, with a coaster, I always say 4, with the cloth napkins, more like 8. Sounds like a better offering to kind of package it together. Again, this is something where if you're selling them in a store environment, whether online or in person, you could offer a discount in sets of 2. So buy 4 for the price of 2. Buy 3, get 1 free. Buy 2, get 2 free. So any of those to kind of encourage them to get more. But if I were giving these to a hostess, I would probably do either 4 or 8. And then this is one of those really cool things that we can do now with VersiFlex. This is on Amazon. There are a million of these, different sizes. The big thing you're looking for is a slide top tray. You want something where there is a piece that's removable that you can press onto. Just like our sublimation, I am only pressing onto the ceramic. It then slides into the wood. Same thing here, this is gonna slide in. You wanna be careful. There are some that have a piece that stick up. So you wanna make sure that the handle is either, there is no like handle, or it's recessed like this. But we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Don't wanna get ahead of myself. We're gonna start with a ceramic tray today. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into our design tool. Now, with our design tool, you are going to see there is artwork that does have a diamond. That is upgraded artwork. That is going to be $12.95 per month to do the My Sawgrass Plus subscription. Or if you wanted to pay for a year, it is $129.95. Go ahead and sign in. Remember to hit the right buttons. And we're gonna go. Now, the cheese board that is in here, I did it earlier. It was slightly off, but that's okay. I'll show you how I'm gonna adjust for that. But that cheese board is in here, so we will use that. Maybe. There it is. All right. Go ahead and open that product. It's always been fun having a child who will, you know, get gifts for people or do gifts for things. And she always has to explain what her mom does for a living. I know that this is an autumn, so I'm using my filter to go to autumn. She always has to explain what her mom does for a living because people are like, how did you get my name on that? How is that so perfect for me? How is that exactly what I needed? So she's gotten really good at explaining it. I really like this. Rhodes, what year did you get married?
2018.
2018. I'm going to make this a little smaller. One of the things I love about this program is I am just able to grab what I want and just make that a little smaller to fit better. I'm going to bring it up slightly. Again, this is really good because this is very subtle. You know, it's just subtly got in there when the marriage was. I am struggling to grab this. Oh, there we go.
I just realized next year is 8 years of being married.
Rhodes was just saying that he is about to hit 8 years of marriage, which is crazy.
Time goes fast.
It does. Okay, good. So now that's selected. I'm gonna click on it. I'm gonna click on it again. I'm actually just gonna move this over, grab what I want eventually. Just a little extra work to grab this. There we go. And it is not gonna behave today. Let me change the date. That happens. There's a couple of things I can do here. I'm actually deleting everything and just going back and re-grabbing it because I had moved it around. So it is going to be cleaner if I just go in and grab it. Grab the one I want. Put that on there. Do again, I'm going to grab this and make it smaller. I'm going to try to grab it first and see if it works. Nope. Which is fine, no big deal. Go ahead and make this a little smaller. I'm going to delete that. And then I'm just going to add a little text box. Okay. I love the filter and fonts. If you haven't heard me say it, I can quickly go into my serif fonts and find the one that I like. I do have a little typo, so I'm going to fix that. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to get my little bobble out. And then I'm going to turn this white. Now I know my hex code for white, so this is going to be easy. Hit done, so it saves it. And then I'm just going to take it and move it to where I want it. So even though I had an issue, I was able to quickly and easily fix it. Just like that. All right, perfect. All right, we'll go ahead and print this out. All right, we're going to send that over to our print utility. It's going to make me save it. So I'll give it just a second. But something like this, where it's simply a word with the established date for when they got married, just not only a nice hostess gift, this would also be a fantastic wedding gift. So these are great things to have in your assortment of things that you sell, just for that reason, because they are so easy to have. And people do need them. And this one's very universal. You could probably have this year's date and have that on display and sell that as is. It's personalized, but you're not having to personalize it. And then, of course, you could always do other years if someone wants it, whether it's someone getting married in a year or two, or whether it's something where someone got married previously and you just loved the design and wanted to give it to them. So either way works for selling. That's kind of the beauty of the Sawgrass printers, is that, you know, they are those smaller printers. You can do small runs. You can do custom orders. It is something where you could actually take your printer with you and print if you were to market something like this. Again, I would go a year in the past, a year in the future, have all three, and I think you could easily do that with no problem. All right, we're going to go ahead and use our Sawgrass print utility. I'm going to choose my printer that I'll be using. I did tell you I measured this earlier, and it is a slight bit off. So I'm going to go just a tad bit bigger on this. And then I'm going to center this on the page, and you'll see why in a minute. Choose my product, which is ceramic. It is a ceramic tile. If you haven't used it yet, let me change this tray before I forget. This does give you the recommended settings, and that's what I went off of. My paper stuck, and so I lowered my pressure just a tad bit, because I think that's probably the issue. Not a huge issue if the paper does stick with the ceramic. You can wash that off. So if it did stick on me, I wouldn't worry about it a tremendous amount. And we'll go ahead and print that out. All right. Okay. So that is printing. I do have my press set. It is set to 400 degrees. I do have it set for 7 minutes. Again, if I were doing a lot of these and I found that that was continuing to stick, may drop the time just a little bit from the recommendation that I had of 7 minutes. And then I do have a silicone pad over here. The pad is going to help with this because it cushions the ceramics and keeps it from breaking. So I do have my print. It is all ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and tape this. Now, with something like this, I'm actually going to put this on here, and then I'm going to tape to the back. So that's why I centered this, is I'm actually just going to fold my paper over and tape it that way. Rhodes, do we have any comments or any questions while I'm taping?
hello from Tom, hello from Lori, Jerry, and just hellos from everyone right now.
All right. Hello, everyone. Okay. We do still want to make sure this is nice and tight as we're taping this down. Yeah, so these are really great. Anything kind of like kitchen dining themed. I was kind of doing some research, make really good hostess gifts. Anything that's going to add to them being able to host without you kind of stealing the show or changing the theme. Don't mother of the groom it. On that, make sure that it's something that's not going to offend anybody. Just something to kind of add and make life a little bit easier. Wine is always very popular. There are a lot of wine totes out there for both sublimation and then also for use with the VersiFlex. So wine totes are huge. Wine boxes are big too. So any of those will work. All right, this is all set. I'm going to drop this in the press. Now, like I said, I am going to use this pad underneath just to cushion this. I do still feel more comfortable if I cover it, so I'm going to do that. All right. I have a glove over here for when we're done. We're going to get this started. Now, this is ceramic, so like I said, this is going to be 7 minutes, so this is going to sit for a while. There we go. I do feel like I have to lower it quick or slowly so it doesn't mess with the ceramic. All right, so that's pressing. We'll go ahead and move on to our next project. Okay, so we are actually going to do the box next. So we are in love with these. This is something that Lindsay found. I think everyone here starts thinking about Christmas gifts and ideas for hostess stuff pretty early on. This is about 6.5 by 3.5. So 6.5 by 3.5. I'm really just gonna stay in the middle. I'm not doing a full bleed design on this because the box is staying natural. I want the wood to stay natural. So I'm probably gonna go more in that 3 to 4 range. So kind of that 3 by 3, 3 by 4 range would be as large as I would go on this. So this is where custom canvas comes in really handy. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit design. And I'm going to go ahead and open that custom canvas. We have been talking about this. This has been quite the topic of discussion of what you would put in the box. So of course you're not going to give an empty box. So we've been discussing what you may put in the box. And I think we all have a different idea. So I think it would be really good for teas. You also could do gourmet coffees in here. You could do truffles in here. I had someone yesterday say dominoes. I think, Rhodes, you said a deck of cards, right?
Card deck. It could be even a jewelry box for like a
You could be a younger jewelry box. It would be cute to put some friendship bracelets in here if it were like maybe a birthday party gift. Someone said corkscrew. So we have had a lot of different ideas on what would be perfect in this box, but it could even, there are, like I said, there's a variety of sizes of this. Amazon is a good source for this particular one. This particular wood holds up really well to the VersiFlex light. So any of the sizes, there's some that are kind of longer and work more like a pencil box. So you could put fancy pens, fancy pencils, any of that would work in there.
Lori says wine glass charms and also bottle stoppers.
Yep, those would work too. Any of that would be great for this. I look this design up again to make sure I'm going to the right spot. And I still am not 100% certain, but we're going to try. We do have a monogram section. A lot of these monograms would be really great on this. I've seen several. There's actually some stuff in our Christmas that I would absolutely adore on this. But I really like this design. I think I actually went the wrong way. I knew something looked wrong. Okay. So I like it kind of this way. I think this is probably as big as I would want to go on that. I do want to give it a pretty good amount of room. Okay, I'm going to start designing, get it to here. We had this discussion earlier about the letter on this, what you'd want to do. I'm going to go with a different serif font. Find a good one. Think. I'm going to go pretty classic and go Bedoni on this. And if you haven't heard me say it, I highly recommend going in and creating your own little font book, favoriting the fonts that you really like a lot to make your life easier. Now, because this is a lighter wood, I do want to make sure, actually, I clicked on the flowers, and I pulled this darker blue. I'm going to go in and grab that hex code, do a copy. And then what I'm going to do is grab this D again, and I'm just going to change that color. And just because it is so light, it just makes it a little bit better, makes it stand out. I did, when I did this earlier, I left the two little dots that color. So I think that's good, and that looks pretty centered. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and send this over to our part utility and get this set and ready to go. So you can really play with those colors in the design tool, which is one of those great features about this program and why I like it. A lot of times if you're getting a design from somewhere else, you don't really have the ability to go in. A lot of times it's already flattened. So being able to go in and change it is really, really nifty. So we're gonna go ahead and get that started to send over. But yeah, these boxes are so versatile. They really are in a lot of ways. They're unwrapping paper too, so it's kind of like a gift in a gift. I talk a lot at Christmas time about using ornaments as gift tags. It's kind of the same thinking, giving them a box and then a gift in the box. So it's kind of like a gift in a gift. So it's really neat. So this is just a really cool thing. Lindsay calls them matchboxes, wooden matchboxes, which they do look a lot like a matchbox. So really fun. All right, time to move over. All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that out. Pull this off as well, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop the temperature on this. Let that go ahead and start dropping because I know it needs to be less. It should be about 375. I'm gonna go closer to 365 because I know my press gets a little warm. And then I'm gonna go ahead and change my temperature. That was 7 minutes. I'm gonna go all the way down to 30 seconds. But we're gonna let it cool off a little bit before I set the pressure, reset the pressure. We'll go ahead and get that all the way down. Now with our sublimation, with ceramic sublimation, there's a lot of schools of thought as far as how fast you get that paper off. It's not going to hurt it. Yep, there it goes. So it's dropping. It's not going to hurt it to sit. I'm going to take this over the desk roads and make our lives easier. I'm going to do my best not to burn my hand. Ah, beautiful. Thank you.
While you're peeling that, Lori has a very excellent question.
Okay.
She says, when she's spending money later on Amazon, are we going to be blaming Lindsay this week? You? Just want to make sure she gets proper credit or blame.
Yeah, so today Lindsay gets the blame. Tomorrow I get the blame. I'm going to have one tomorrow that you are going to adore, Lori. So I'm going to cause a run on a product tomorrow. Nope, not working, Rhodes. But thanks for the thought. All right.
You should have asbestos hands by now anyway.
I should, yeah. There's something earlier I was like, I really can't tell temperature anymore. It's completely gone. All right. Ceramic does hold heat. So when we talk about fabric, you'll notice I often don't even bother with gloves. But when it comes to this, and this may be sticking just a little, but all I'm gonna do is if this sticks, and it could be that I'm not peeling it off fast enough. I haven't used this product a tremendous amount, so it may be my slowness in peeling it off that's causing it to stick a little bit. But the beauty of ceramic with sublimation is that paper washes right off. So I'll have this up for display tomorrow. I'll go wash it when we're finished. And then it goes home with Rhodes.
It goes on my buildings.
Yeah. Is that cooling?
Yes, I can move it over too.
All right.
It takes a long time to heat up, but it holds temp
It does, it does. Yeah, so a little bit of sticking. Not anything I worry about again with ceramic, because with sublimation it is becoming a part of the coating. So it is always going to be a part of that coating. Me washing it isn't going to hurt it. So I will go ahead and wash this off. But that looks really, really great. Now, it would not have been good if I just dropped it. So we'll go ahead and state that too. All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and wash that.
Lori says that she normally does those for 4 minutes and that kind of avoids sticking.
Yeah, like I said, I reduced the heat slightly off of the one I did earlier. I wasn't 100% certain what it was. So I knew it was one or the other, but we can play with that a little bit more. That cleans up well, so I'm not really too worried about it. All right. Let's go ahead and reset our press for our box. Okay, I knew that was going to be the case. We're going to have to increase that pressure. I usually don't take too big a swing with this press. Typically, it's already getting much closer. Go one full turn. Yeah, I got enough resistance. I think that's exactly where I want it to be. There we go. It's nice and ready. Now we just need to get our print. Okay, so my print's good. I'm gonna go ahead and choose my printer. I could always set this as a default, as my default printer, but we actually switch printers out. So even if I set it as a default today, it may not be the default next week. So it's just easier to leave it. I'm gonna leave that in the corner because I'm gonna cut this. That works better for this. Go ahead and choose my uncoated wood. Everything else changes. My VersiFlex, I'm out of tray 1. So all is set and ready to go. And we are ready. Okay, so while this is printing, I'm gonna ask you my internet question of the day. I saw this in a group and I want everyone to put your answers in the chat. When you sell shirts, so when you make shirts to sell, do you wash them before you sell them? So you're making 10 shirts for an organization. Do you wash the shirts or do you just print, press, finish press, and fold them and put them in the box? So answer the question in the comments. That's the inquiring internet question of wants to know of the day. I'm gonna grab the scissors real quick. VersiFlex is a little more temperature sensitive, so you did see that I did lower it. Now, when I did this earlier as a sample, I had the letter facing this way. I think the letter should face towards the hole or be this way and not face either direction. So I think I'm gonna have it face this way. Okay. This is an easy one to center. Again, if you haven't seen me do it, this is wet, so we don't want to reposition it. So you'll see me kind of position it with my hands and drop it. Often with wood, you will see me do it upside down and then flip it. But with this, it's perfectly fine that way. And we are set, 30 seconds.
So just some answers to your question.
Yeah.
Lori does not wash them because people might have allergies.
Yeah.
Jerry also does not wash t-shirts before she sells them. Tom says he'll tumble them in the dryer on a steam setting.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. So with your VersiFlex, you do want to hold off washing for about 48 hours. So I think on the VersiFlex side, that's the answer. I do know direct to garment, same thing. You don't usually pre-wash or wash before delivering. So I think that's kind of the answer. Or that's what my answer would be. All right. I love this, love this, love this, love this. All right. Check that out.
Okay, let me zoom in as well.
Yeah.
Boom. That looks great.
Isn't that awesome? And then again, slides right in. And the really great thing about this wood, so I've done some other things like the clipboards where I've kind of fought some warping. There's no warping on this. This goes on really, really well. And so it's just so adorable. I really love those. And such a great little gift to give as a hostess gift. And I mean, like I said, if you sold something like this in your store, you can use this for so many different things. It's so versatile. Just pick up really a good design that you love. I'm about to show some Christmas designs that I am absolutely in love with. So if you wanted to do it as more of like a Christmas box, you could have the more popular letters out, and then of course be able to print the ones that you need. So it's kind of the beauty of the system, is being able to kind of print on demand. You're not having to print lots, you're only printing one at a time. So that works really, really well. All right, one more. Now this is, without a shadow of a doubt, again, shout out, this is an Amazon one, but we absolutely adore this. These napkins are fantastic. These work extremely well with the VersiFlex Lite. One thing we love about them is because of the way they're made, or the way they're designed, the weave is really, really tight, so they peel really easily. The other thing, of course, with this, it's just such a nice product, and they look so professional. You're going to see what I'm going to do with them in just a second, but they work great. Now I'm going to check this area in between. I could easily go 3 1/4, 3 1/4, nice little squarish design in the middle here. Again, I would do these in sets. And you know, for selling purposes, it may be a buy two, get two. So they're really nice.
2 more things for the box.
Uh-huh.
Lori also said a box to hold ornaments.
Yeah.
Smaller ornaments.
Yeah.
Tom has a great idea. Little airplane bottles.
Tom does love model airplanes. That would be great for him. Also, you know, like my daughter collects lapel pins, and so she actually has a purse to display them, but she has more than she needs. So something like this for a kid with like lapel pins or the bracelets or any of that would work really great. I hope I said, did I say 3 1/2? I said 3 1/2. Did I say 3 1/2 or did I say 3 1/4? Now I'm confusing myself. All right, let's check it. 3 1/4. Okay. Again, just easy. Most of the coasters are in this same range, so if I wanted to just pick a coaster template to use, I easily could have done that. So this was what I was talking about, those really great holiday designs that we have that work so well. This, where you put the letter in, this is my absolute favorite. You know, again, depends on where we're hostessing. Is this a hostess gift for Christmas? Is this a hostess gift for Christmas, or is it for Thanksgiving? Kind of determines what you would do, but it works really, really well either way.
Denise is asking what temperature and time did you set it for?
For what? For the ceramic tile?
Ceramic and the upcoming napkins. Just do.
Yeah, so for the ceramic tile, for the true sublimation, ceramic tile does take a while. So it is usually 400 degrees for anywhere from 4 to 7 minutes. If I were to do this again, I'm going to crank that down to 6. I did 7. I think I'm going to crank it down to 6 if I did it again, just because the paper is sticking. So it doesn't mean it's getting a little hot. For everything else, it is 375 for 30 seconds. So both for the box and then also for the napkins. All right. Now, you know, some of the things that we tell you about working with the VersiFlex light paper, we do tell you that you do need to get that on there pretty quickly, that the expander still needs to be wet. That's what makes the transfer happen. So what you're gonna see me do is I'm still going to do this too up on the page because I do want to save that paper. Now we do have that A5 paper available, that pocket size paper available that is smaller and would work well for this too. But since I do have a full sheet, I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 of these on the page and show you that I can easily get 2 done in the amount of time I have. We're gonna wait for that to send over to the print utility. We are, I believe it's next week, going to talk about some other ads for your store as you get closer to the holiday. I'm probably going to go pretty ornament heavy because, well, I love ornaments. But these kinds of things, anything with initials are so easy. Pick the initials that are the most popular to use, put those out there, and then, of course, be able to do anything else you need as well. We're going to go ahead and make sure that I get the right printer. I'm going to go ahead and change this to the natural fibers because this is a linen. Kind of ain't going to leave it on cotton. It's not going to really impact. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to nest this. I'm going to do a repeat. I'm going to do 2 of these. And then I will go ahead and I'm going to space these out pretty good. I can cut there and there. That will work good for this. I may just go ahead and make them go top and bottom, and then I'm going to center it. Make this a little bit easier on me. Make my peel easier, you'll see in a second. And then we'll let print. All right, now I am going to go ahead and set the press. I do know I'm going to need to make this a little bit tighter. Rog, you can go ahead and focus over here. Oh, too tight. Yeah. Good resistance, so that's pretty much where I want to be. I'm going to go a little bit more. Probably about half turn. Nope. Will not work. There we go. We'll go right there. That should do it. Oh, actually, completely forgot. Because this does sink in the middle just slightly, I am going to go ahead and put a pressing pillow down. And the reason here is just so it helps make that surface nice and flat for us. Make sure I don't have that too tight. Nope, perfect. I do like an extremely high pressure on that, so that works great. Take that off for just a second. Figure out where I threw my scissors. And I do want to leave some extra paper on here. And the main reason is it's just going to give me something to grip. So these are going to work just fine for that. Now, to me, there's a side that's a slight bit flatter. I tend to go on this away from that seam. So I see that seam as the back. Am I holding it way in the wrong spot? I'm going to line that up. Drop that down. Cover it and we're ready to go. All right, cool. Okay, that's just 30 seconds, so it goes really fast, thankfully. All right. Let's check that out. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Look how perfect that is. Isn't that so awesome? All right, we're gonna do one more. I'm gonna take this. I think I threw one over here. I did. Like I said, I like to put that seamy side down. All right. Drop that on there. We are ready to go. All right. And we'll just go for 30 seconds. So I hope this has kind of inspired you on some things you can add to your store to sell around the holidays or year round, because there are parties all year round. You can easily take any of these and turn them into spring designs, whether it's Easter, whether it's bridal, whatever it may be. So there's so much you can do with this. Rhodes, did we have any other questions or comments?
No, I think we're caught up on all of that.
Awesome. Perfect. All right, so here are 3 very easy projects, whether you're making for yourself or whether you are making to sell. Hopefully you've got some inspiration. Like I said, I adore these little cocktail napkins. Very easy to have. Like I said, have a stack of these for all the popular first and last initial letters. Works really well. Of course, these cheese boards are always going to be popular with the sublimation. And then these boxes are the coolest thing on the planet. So hopefully we've given you some ideas. Hopefully you saw some other things you can do. Tomorrow we're going to dive specifically into personalization. We did it today. We'll do some more specific personalized products tomorrow, because there are so many of us, myself and Rhodes included, who cannot find our name on anything. So to be able to have those things that have our names, to have our information, they just make everything so much more personal and such a keepsake. So check us out tomorrow. Hopefully you are watching this. If you're not watching it live, when you're watching the recording, we're glad to have you. Please add your comments as well. And then we also just released a new podcast. I think I am going to, next time we start the podcast, I'm just going to include the phrase that we sit down with some of my favorite people. But once again, we really did. So we sat down with Julian Firth to talk all about the Sawgrass print utility, all about our philosophy around software here at Sawgrass, and about quality with our software. So that is definitely one you want to check out. That is our Ink Differently podcast. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music as well. If you do have any further questions, please drop them in the comments. Rhodes and I do check those. We'll be glad to help you with any questions you may have about Sawgrass, about sublimation, VersiFlex, or anything else. So we will see you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, and have a good day. Oh, wait. Can't go yet. There's a finger up.
Joel says you're the goat, and then Jerry says the napkins are very beautiful, and now you're good.
All right. I am the goat, and we love the napkins. So y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.